It was on the 15th day of the 10th waxing moon in 1917 that Phra Mongkontep Muni, Sotjantatsaro, or more commonly referred to as Lung Pu Wat Pak Nam, put his life on the line practicing meditation inside the Ubosota Hall of Wat Bod Bon until his mind came to a standstill and ready to embark upon the middle way. Having attained the sublime Dhamma, he did not keep the knowledge to himself, but had given his all to spread it as widely as possible. He summarized the middle way meditation practice leading to enlightenment by coining the deeply profound phrase, "Cessation is the key to success." Stopping the mind means to bring one's attention to a standstill in the absence of all thoughts at the center of the body in order to reach the triple gem inside. The great master Phra Mongkontep Muni also demonstrated that the middle way exists inside the body of every human being, regardless of nationality, race, religion, or creed. After Lung Pu's passing, the glorious light of Dhamma continued to shine in the personage of the perpetuator of Vicha Dhammakaya, Kunyai Ajahn Jan Konok Yung. She was Lung Pu's foremost pupil and was recognized by Lung Pu as being peerless. Kunyai had worked very hard teaching meditation practice to all of her pupils, and one of these was a young university student named Mr. Chayabun Sutipon. He excelled in meditation practice and helped Kunyai teach meditation to the people. In time, the two-story house inside Wat Pak Nam overflowed with people interested in learning meditation practice. After graduating from Kased Sat University, Mr. Chayabun decided to enter the monkhood at Wat Pak Nam and was given the monastic name of Dhammakaya Bhikkhu. It was here at Wat Pak Nam that Dhammakaya Bhikkhu learned high-level meditation from Kunyai. When more and more people came to learn meditation practice from Dhammakaya Bhikkhu, he knew that he needed to spread Vicha Dhammakaya as widely as possible. Kunyai and Dhammakaya Bhikkhu, along with a team of staunch-minded individuals, began the construction of a new temple on February 20, 1970. This temple was to become known as Wat Phra Dhammakaya later on. It has since been a place of refuge to a large number of people and a school of morality to many in Thailand and abroad. Today, Wat Phra Dhammakaya, under the leadership of Dhammakaya Bhikkhu, Pratep Yan Mahamuni, or more commonly referred to as Lung Pa Dhammakaya, has shown the world that it is a true Buddhist temple where its monks practice righteousness according to Dhamma discipline, and its laity practices morality. The temple has emphasized the importance of both scripture study and meditation practice. As a result, more and more people in Thailand and abroad have traveled to the temple to study the Lord Buddha's teachings and practice meditation. The temple has organized different training programs for people of every age group and every walk of life regardless of their race and creed. Morality training programs. There are Dhammadayada training programs where men in Thailand and abroad enter the monkhood for a period of time. The mass ordination of 100,000 monks and the training program of 1 million female lay devotees have been regularly organized in order to provide morality training for the laity. Another morality training program for the youth and the general public is called the Path of Progress Quiz, where currently there are more than 5 million participants annually. World Peace Ethics Contests. The World Peace Ethics Contest has been organized regularly in Thailand and abroad. The V-Star project aims to train school children to be responsible for themselves as well as for society. Today, there are more than 1 million participants annually. Meditation practice. Many meditation programs have been made available to interested persons in Thailand and abroad. There is also a meditation program via the internet where members anywhere in the world can practice meditation together. Education. Dhammakaya Open University, California, DOU, makes it possible for people anywhere in the world to not only learn about the Lord Buddha's teachings, but to also practice them in their daily life. To increase the speed and the effectiveness of the world morality revival, many worthwhile Dhamma programs are offered via satellite through the DMC channel. All of the channel's programs are suitable for people of all ages, and its programs have received many national and international awards. Pali studies for monks and novices. The temple has offered scholarships to Pali students as well as Pali schools in different temples all through the years. Joint academic collaboration. The temple has also signed agreements with several international institutions in order to improve educational standards in Buddhist studies. Social welfare. The offering of food to 2 million monks in a project initiated in order to encourage people in society to practice generosity, to decrease selfishness, and to do things for the greater good of society. Non-perishable foods received in the project are sent to help victims of civil unrest in the south of Thailand, as well as victims of natural disasters in Thailand and abroad. Promoting personal well-being. To improve the general well-being of people, joint programs are organized with the help of different countries in order to teach meditation practice. Partner countries include India, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bangladesh, the Philippines, etc. Branches of Wat Phra Dhammakaya. In addition, there are branches of Wat Phra Dhammakaya all over Thailand and across the globe where activities and programs are organized at the same time as Wat Phra Dhammakaya. More than 40 years have now gone past. Wat Phra Dhammakaya and the Dhammakaya Foundation have made it easier for a large number of people worldwide to practice meditation and morality. Everything that has been done is done to prove the fact that Wat Phra Dhammakaya is determined to enable everyone in the world to attain inner peace, the true foundation of world peace.
Just as the moon disperses the darkness of the night by its light, giving confidence and safety to nighttime travelers, the light of the teachings of the Lord Buddha offers safety to all those who must navigate the cycle of existence towards perfection in life. On the full moon day of each month, Buddhists throughout the world reflect upon the great compassion of the Lord Buddha in discovering and teaching Dhamma for the benefit of all beings. However, about 500 years after the final passing away of the Lord's Buddha, although the theoretical teachings of the Lord's Buddha were compiled and preserved in the Buddhist scriptures, but the practical teachings which allowed others to become enlightened in his footsteps disappeared from the world. It was only 2,000 years later that a great monk was to sacrifice his life for Buddhism in order to rediscover this missing core of the practical teachings once known to the Lord Buddha. It was on the full moon day of the September 1914 that a Buddhist monk named Phra Muni Sot Jantasaro made the determined vow to meditate to the death if he could not rediscover some small part of the original teachings the Lord's Buddha brought to the world. Whatever happens if I cannot attain even a small part of the truth which the Lord Buddha knew, I will sit to death. If I die, my actions will be a model of goodness for monks and Buddhists of later generations. This will be my virtue if I should die. It was only after striving with the utmost resolve, to the degree he was prepared to lay down his life, that he was able to attain the Dhammakaya, a rediscovery of unrivaled significance for all in quest of enlightenment through meditation, and notable in that his discovery was a precedent never before touched upon by his contemporary masters of meditation or in manuals of practice, a path of practice revealed by cultivating the minds along the middle way, the path to an end of all sufferings. Phra Muni was born Sot Mek Kao Noi on the 10th of October 1885 in Song Pinong, Suphanburi, Thailand. His family home overlooked the village temple from the opposite bank of the river. His father was called Ngen Mek Kao Noi and his mother Sut Jai. He was the second born of 5 children. His family was in the rice trading business and they shipped rice by barge in Song Pinong and the adjoining districts. He showed intellect, determination, and steadfastness of character from an early age, never resting from any task he had set his mind to until achieving success. He helped his parents from an early age. It was only at the age of 9 that he had the chance to commence his formal education when his uncle became a monk at Song Pinong Temple. Later, he continued his studies at Wat Bang Pla, Bang Lane, Nakhon Pathom until being fully versed in Thai and Khom languages. Only then did he return to help his parents with the family business. In his teenage years, the family relied upon him for most of their business affairs and trading voyages to the neighboring towns. At the age of 14, his father passed away, leaving him in charge of business and family alike. He was able to keep all the work well in hand, despite his tender years, and was well accepted by his crews because of his sincerity, wisdom, and compassion. Business prospered year by year until his family gained a reputation for its financial standings. One day, returning upstream to Song Pinong, the barge empty, but carrying the cash from the rice sale, he encountered dangerous rapids near Nakhon Chai Si. To avoid difficulty in making headway, he took a shortcut through a narrow, pirate-infested creek called Bang Itan. Usually barges would only risk that route in convoys, but that day he found himself alone. Sensing foreboding, he had his crew man the helm, knowing all too well that pirates would attack the helmsman first, thinking him to be the owner. He availed himself of an 8-shot rifle and hid in the bow. However, on further consideration, he felt ashamed of himself, letting others risk their lives in his place, thinking compassionately of his crew. All the crew gets from me for looking after this wretched barge is 10 or 11 baht a month. Why should I let them be the first to die when I'm the one who owns it? If disaster strikes, they should look after their own skins, because they have wives and children dependent on them for the rice in their bellies. That day he was to escape danger, unscathed, but the crisis brought home to him the futility of the household life. He vowed to himself that he would renounce the world life and become a monk as soon as he could guarantee the security of his family for the rest of their lives in his absence. At the time he made his vows, he was barely 19. However, he didn't take his own ambitions lightly. He took 3 years to amass sufficient wealth to support his family, only then entering the monastery for lifelong ordination. Luang Pa Wat Pak Nam took ordination at Song Pinong Temple and was given the monastic name of Jantasaro Piku. He remained only one rainy season at that temple before traveling to Bangkok to further his studies at Wat Chetupon in both scriptural and meditational subjects. He was outstandingly conscientious in his study of the scriptures from renowned teachers, traveling regularly to Wat Arun on the opposite banks of the Chao Phraya River, Wat Mahathat, Wat Sutat, and Wat Sam Bloom in search of knowledge. He even sought extra scriptural knowledge by spending time in temples such as Wat Mahathat, Suphanburi, and returned periodically to his home temple at Song Pinong. From the earliest days of his ordination onwards, Luang Pa Wat Pak Nam devoted the best part of his time to training himself in meditation. He meditated daily without exception and roamed from temple to temple in quest of knowledge concerning the proper way to meditate. In his 11th year as a monk, he found himself at Bot Bon Temple, Bang Khu Wieng Nonthaburi. In the middle of his rainy season, he reflected on the vocation to ordain he had had in his heart since the age of 19. He realized that although he was now in his 12th reigns, he still had not attained direct experience of any small part of Buddha's enlightenment. He thus felt inspired to strive to the utmost on the full moon day of September 1914. When he returned from alms round that morning, he organized things to minimize any remaining worries in his mind and made his way to the main chapel to sit for meditation. He made up his mind that if he were not to hear the sound of the midday drums, he would no more move from his meditation mat. He meditated using the mantra Samma Arahang until he started to experience extreme pain throughout his body. He endured the pain by virtue of the vow he had made and eventually managed to transcend the pain. His mind became more serene until it came to a standstill at a single point at his diaphragm, appearing as a bright sphere, the size of a yolk of an egg, steadfast and joyous at his center. The same evening, having completed his various duties, he returned to the main chapel a second time for meditation and again vowed, O Lord, impart to me the Dhamma which you attained on the day of your enlightenment. If my enlightenment will be of virtue and benefit to Buddhism, then please, O Lord, transport me to the greatest Dhamma. I shall be thy champion to maintain and uphold the greatness of thy teachings. But should my enlightenment be in vain, of no benefit to thy teachings, then, Lord, I will sacrifice my life in this meditation as the only offering I have for thee. The bright, clear sphere from earlier that day was still firmly established at the center of his body, and now became brighter and clearer at his center. It expanded and became as bright as the midday sun. The sound of the ancient words, Majjhima Patipata, or the middle way, were mysteriously to be heard at the center of his body. He was able to see a bright spot at the center of his body, and he expanded the sphere, enlarged, and disappeared. He whispered to himself, it's so hard like this. This is why no one else could manage to achieve it. Sensation, memory, thought, and cognition, all these things must be united into one single spot. Once the mind is still, it ceases to be. Once it ceases to be, the new one can arise. Stopping his mind continuously, he was able to attain Dhammakaya, or body of enlightenment, a body which had an appearance similar to Buddha image with the lotus bud as its topknot, but completely clean and pure like crystal. Luang Por Wat Bak Nam revised and further refined his inner experience until at the end of his meditation. The vision of a temple appeared to him, which he recognized as Wat Bang Pla, where he had studied in his youth, and it occurred to him that this must be the place where he must start to spread the Dhammakaya tradition. At the end of the rainy season, Luang Por Wat Bak Nam transferred to Wat Bang Pla to teach the monks residents there. He was able to train 3 monks and 4 lay people to attain Dhammakaya in his footsteps. On the banks of Pasi Jaron Canal, there's a temple called Wat Bak Nam Pasi Jaron. The position of abbot at the temple had been vacant for many years. His Excellency, Somdet Phra of Wat Phra Chetupon, who was the monastic governor of this district, consecrated Luang Por Wat Bak Nam as the new abbot so that he wouldn't have to continue his nomadic existence. Luang Por Wat Bak Nam reluctantly accepted the title with the intentions of remaining acting abbot for only 3 months, but eventually his position was made permanent. Taking on the duty of governing Wat Phra Nam was a heavy responsibility indeed for the new abbot, because neither the monks nor the devotees accepted him at first. It was only a minority who cooperated. The rest conspired to slander and discredit him. Often they were drunk and disorderly. Sometimes they made attempts on his life, even going as far as to try gunning Luang Por Wat Phra Nam down in front of his congregation. In spite of his dangers, Luang Por maintained, "We monks must never fight nor run away, but must persevere in our pursuit of good deeds. This is the only way we can win at all times." He had to endure in the face of multitudinous problems and hindrance while at the same time developing the temple in every way by encouraging the monks and novices to study both the scriptures and meditation. The numbers of monks in the monastic community of Wat Phra Nam gradually increased. Luang Por Wat Phra Nam fulfilled his long-standing wish to open a college for scriptural studies and a temple refectory. He supported the spiritual education of monks and lay devotees alike, and gave training in meditation for the congregation on a regular basis. His perseverance in teaching Buddhism, making the knowledge and inspiration to meditate known in ever-broadening circles of society. Luang Por Wat Phra Nam meditated consistently and used his knowledge of meditation to lead continually more subtle research into the true nature of life and the world, especially to quench the sufferings of the human condition. He built a special building at his home to his meditation research, calling it the Meditation Workshop. It was designated to be used for meditation research by 2 teams working in shifts of 24 hours a day. Only those who had attained Dhammakaya would be able to help with such research. The reputation of Luang Por Wat Phra Nam and those doing meditation research spread far and wide in Thailand and abroad. There were even faithful Buddhists who traveled from overseas to ordain as a monk and train themselves at Wat Phra Nam. The first ever foreigner to ordain as a monk in Thailand ordained with Luang Por at Wat Phra Nam. From the first day Luang Por Wat Phra Nam became abbot, he had to bear a heavy burden indeed, whether it be the burden of scriptural and meditational education, the spread of knowledge of Dhammakaya, repair and expansion of the monastic facilities, or pastoral activities for the congregation. Luang Por Wat Phra Nam rested little. Towards the end of his life, he became fatally ill with hypertension and a hernia. In spite of his illness, he never abandoned his meditation or teaching duties. He exhorted disciples always to continue with their meditations and support of the monastic community. At one time, when he was seriously ill, knowing that he wouldn't live much longer, he confided to his elder sister that he was anxious that there would be no successor to the Dhammakaya tradition. It was a few days later that the anxiety disappeared from his face, and he mentioned that the reason was that a successor had been born in Singburi province. He ordered Kunyai Chan Kanok Yung, the nun most adept amongst his meditators, to remain at Wat Phra Nam as heir to the Dhammakaya traditions, teaching meditation until the successor came to study with her. He added that he would not recover from his illness, that the medicine he took didn't reach the real illness because karma intervened to make it ineffective. Luang Por Wat Phra Nam knew 5 years in advance of his impending death, warning his disciples of the fact. He was to pass away peacefully on 3rd February 1959 at Wat Phra Nam Pasi Jaron, at the age of 74. Even though the light Luang Por Wat Bak Nam shone forth to the world has now extinguished, but the flames of his teachings burns on in the form of the knowledge of Dhammakaya, a legacy of meditation experience which brings insight into the importance in our lives of pursuing perfection and training ourselves to attain Dhammakaya. As such knowledge of inner peace spreads out to the world, it continues to make contribution to the attainment of true peace in the world. Even to this day, the precious heritage of the knowledge of Dhammakaya continues to flourish in all walks of society. Disciples of Luang Por Wat Bak Nam now practice meditation throughout the world and continue to perpetuate his life's work and mission out of gratitude to he who rediscovered the knowledge of Dhammakaya.
Amidst the darkness of this endless cycle of rebirths, only one person, if born with real understanding, true knowledge, and the right view, can enlighten people's lives like the sun whose light illuminates the world in a distant galaxy. Lord Buddha, the perfectly enlightened one, was born for this reason over 2,500 years ago. Nevertheless, 1,000 years after his complete nirvana, the final relief from the cycle of rebirth, the memory of the core of his Dhamma teachings began to fade from people's mind like the depth of twilight. However, 2,460 years after his complete nirvana, the virtue of the Buddha Dhamma was restored to people's hearts through the dedicated life of one great monk, Phra Mongkontep Muni, the abbot of Wat Bak Nam, Passi Jaran. He single-handedly devoted his life to the study of descriptive, deep, and strict training, which became widely known throughout the world as Vijaya Dhammakaya. Vijaya Dhammakaya, the ultimate truth, awaits all who would discover it for themselves. Whoever has practiced meditation in strict accordance with Vijaya Dhammakaya will himself realize that his mind and body has become increasingly serene.
เ Vijaya ธรรมกาย 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 Vijaya ธรรมกาย
When he attains to Dhammakaya, he will have no remaining doubt in the teachings of the Buddha. Dhammakaya will bring progress both in worldly and spiritual ways, so much so that its usefulness is without comparison. Kunyai Ajahn Khonnok-Yung, the wise grandmother and devoted disciple of Phra Muni, was an ambitious devotee. She never received any form of education, but was determined and dedicated in the practice of Dhamma. She hoped to utilize Dhammakaya to find her late father in his new life and to beg for forgiveness for the wrongs she had committed towards him when she was young. She practiced strictly in accordance with Dhammakaya until she became eminently successful in meditation. She impressed her teacher, Phra Muni, to such an extent that he stated, "My wise daughter is number one, second to none." When the abbot of Wat Pak Nam had passed away, Kunyai Ajahn remained determined to pass on Dhammakaya to the world. The only problem which hindered her was being illiterate. How could she teach anyone but with a firm faith in Dhamma and the Buddha's teachings? Kunyai never felt discouraged. She trained herself strictly, practicing Dhammakaya for the benefit of all people. A great number of students came to study Dhamma with Kunyai Ajahn, including former Mr. Chayabun Sutipon from Suan Gulab School. He later brought many of his friends and other students, both older and younger than himself, to study Dhamma at Dhamma Prasit House with Kunyai Ajahn. Consequently, the house in Wat Pak Nam, where they were all training, soon became too small to facilitate all the student protégés.
สมัยแรกๆยายก็ไม่ได้คิดจะสร้างวัดอยู่วัดปากน้ำหลวงพ่อธรรมะเนี่ยท่านก็เรียนอยู่สวนกุหลาบท่านก็เดินไปหายายบอกว่ายายอยากจะบวชจังเลยยายก็บอกว่าคุณเหรอจะบวชถ้าคุณจะบวชคุณก็ไปเรียนให้จบปริญญาก่อนจะบวชให้หลวงพ่อธรรมะก็เข้าเกษตรได้ก็ไปเอาหลวงพ่อทัตตะมาอีกคนนึงหลวงพ่อทัตตะก็โอ้โหวิชาเดรัจฉานเนี่ยนะนี่เรื่องจริงนะวิชาเดรัจฉานเนี่ยเต็มตัวหมดเลยว่าจะห้ำหั่น2 องค์นี่ลง2 คนที่ได้เกือบตาย
When former Mr. Chayabun, later to become Luang Pho Thammachayo, graduated from university, he was ordained as a monk at Wat Pak Nam Phasi Charan. It was there that he started to study Dhamma seriously and with intensity. He was well taught and well trained by Kunyai. At that time, a large number of students were under the instructions of Kunyai. Realizing that many people were now interested, he decided to disseminate Dhammakaya to the Buddhist world.
อยากกันนึกว่าเราต้องคิดหาแผ่นดินสักแห่งนะฮะอยากก็คิดได้ให้คนไปขอแผ่นดิน ขอ50 ไร่เขาให้ยกให้หมดผืนเลยจ้ะจะกระส่งหลวงพ่อทัตตะเนี่ยมาก่อนจ้ะมาเฝ้าแผ่นดินนี่ไว้พอวันเสาร์ยายก็ขึ้นรถมาทุ่งนาเนี่ยทุกเสาร์มีเป็นทุ่งนานะสร้างวัดใหม่เป็นทุ่งนาเลยไม่มีอะไรเลยเกือบตายก็จะเอาวัดลงก็จะสร้างวัดได้เหนื่อยจังเลยยายนี่เหนื่อยจังเลยเหนื่อยจนเป็นโรคขาดอาหารนะสมัยแรกๆนะเช้ามากินข้าวแล้วต้องนั่งธรรมะไปถึง5 โมงกลางวันพอ5 โมงกลางวันแล้วก็ทำไงลงช่วยเขาปลูกต้นไม้5 โมงเย็นก็อาบน้ำอาบท่าขึ้นมานั่งธรรมะไปถึง4 ทุ่มถึงจะได้นอนสมัยนี้คนเขายังไม่ค่อยศรัทธาพระยายนี่ยังไม่ค่อยศรัทธาพระยายเขาศรัทธายายมากยายก็ไปบอกบุญคนนั้นบอกบุญคนนี้ให้เขามาช่วยทางสร้างกติมั่งมาช่วยสร้างครัวมั่งแล้วก็วางแผนไม่พระเราเนี่ยออกเป็นบาตรพระในวัดนี่นะมาใหม่ๆไม่ให้ออกเป็นบาตรจะหุงข้าวเลี้ยงทำแล้วยายอยู่มาจะเหนื่อยมากๆเขายายก็ไม่มีแรงเดินไม่ไหวแล้วเขาก็เอายายเนี่ยไปกุกไปจุฬาหมอจุฬาพวกหมอปลามากวดเขาบอกไม่มีโรคอะไรโรคขาดอาหารยายนะทำงานหนักมันมากที่สุดเลย
With a firm and unyielding heart, and with wisdom beyond comparison, Kun Yai had set all the rules for the administration of the Wat. She had also encouraged unity and given valuable support to all her students. Thus, the Center for the Practice of Buddhist Meditation has grown very quickly.To retain the standards of Wat Dhammakaya, the temple demands splendid and perfect discipline for monks and guests, alike bringing glory to Buddhism and setting examples to the whole world.She remained determined to acquire more merit with which to reach the status of spiritual perfection by the making of merit, mainly in the offering of robes on Katina Day. It is by virtue of the accumulation of this merit that we can only escape the 4 evil realms of our next life.
ตั้งใจว่าเราเนี่ยนะต้องทอดกฐินจะครั้งหนึ่งมันแก่แล้วอยากจะทำบุญกฐินทอดกฐินจะครั้งไม่เคยทอดกฐินเลยก็อยากจะทำจะครั้งเผื่อพบชาติต่อไปยายจะได้ไปสร้างวัดใหญ่ๆแล้วจะได้ไปทอดกฐินอีกจะได้เก็บเอาพักพวกเราตามติดตัวไปจะรวมหมู่รวมคณะลูกศิษย์ลูกหาเก่าๆแก่ๆจะไปตามมันมาให้หมดใครมาก็เอาใครไม่มาก็ปล่อยก็ทิ้งไว้นี่จะเจอใครก็บอกเขาจะได้บุญพระยายเข้ามาทำบุญวันนั้นเราก็จะคุมบุญให้เขาทุกคนน่ะถ้าใครมาก็มาไม่มาก็หมดเวลาเลยมาถือว่าอาจารย์ไม่รับรู้แล้ว
Before she died, another of Kun Yai's wishes had come true. Over 1,000 devoted Buddhists came to Wat Dhammakaya for the Katina Day led by Kun Yai.Kun Yai, a great teacher, had lit the flame of Dhamma for the world to see. She worked tirelessly and underwent many hardships during her lifetime up to her death in 2543, aged 92. Her cremation was held on the 3rd of February, 2545. Monks from 30,000 temples across Thailand were invited for the ceremony. We hope that you can witness this great assembly. Whether it is your first visit or not, you are welcome to visit our temple and to pay homage to the memorial of Kunyai, the founder of Wat Dhammakaya, whenever you visit the temple or when you next come to Thailand.
Maka Busha Day. One afternoon on the 15th day of the third waxing moon, a miraculous event took place when 1,250 Arahat monks who had personally received ordination from the Lord Buddha assembled spontaneously at Verutwana Temple in the kingdom of Makata without prior arrangement. On this auspicious occasion, the Buddha delivered a Dhamma sermon called the Ovada Patimokkha, in which he expounded on the ideology, principle, and the method of propagating Buddhism. Maka Busha Day is an important day for inner peace and true happiness for humankind. Meritorious activities are organized annually at Wat Phra Dhammakaya from dawn to dusk as a way to reflect on the Buddha's precious teachings on abstaining from misdeeds, performing only wholesome deeds, and purifying the mind. Maka Busha Day starts with an early morning ceremony to offer alms at the Grand Meditation Square of the Great Dhammakaya Sittiya, and is followed by the morning meditation session and the offering of Sanghadana to the monastic community. The afternoon session includes the presentation of the Royal Trophy and Awards to the winners of the Path of Progress Ethics Quiz Contest, one of UNESCO's cultural programs for peace established since 2002. In the evening, there is the ceremony to offer honorific plaques to the winners of the World Peace Ethics Contest, World PEC. The evening concludes splendidly with the beautiful Makat lantern lighting ceremony and circumambulation of the Great Dhammakaya Sittiya as homage to the Buddha. Earth Day. In 1970, the Honorable Gaylord Nelson, a United States Senator and passionate advocate for protecting the environment, helped establish April 22nd as Earth Day, the National Day for the Environment. His ambitious endeavor compelled the World Federation of Buddhist Youth to examine methods to keep the most important human resource, our mind, pristine, and to safeguard it from thought, speech, or action that will cause others distress and ultimately bind us to the endless cycle of suffering. Hence, WFBY petitioned for April 22nd to be known as Dhamma Earth Day, under the motto, "Clean the world, clean the mind." Earth Day is an annual event organized at Wat Phra Dhammakaya as affirmation that true peace and harmony in the world begins with inner peace. The activities throughout the day are based on the Buddha's teachings on purifying one's mind through generosity, moral discipline, and the practice of meditation. The morning session begins at 9:30 a.m. with a meditation session, followed by the offering of midday meal as Sanghadana to the monastic community, and the presentation of grants to the teachers in the 4 southern provinces of Thailand as a show of support for their unwavering commitment. In the afternoon, there is a meditation session and chanting of the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta by the Venerable monks. The principal Dhamma of the chanting pertains to the elimination of suffering through the practice of the middle way. This will be followed by the offering ceremony to the monastic community comprises 30,000 temples throughout Thailand, including monks from 300 temples in the 4 southern provinces. Visakha Busha. Visakha Busha derives from the word Visakha Puranami, which means the offering of reverence to venerable monks on the full moon day of the 6th lunar month, known as Visakha. This is the day where 3 paramount events connected to the life of the Lord Buddha occurred. The first event, taking place 80 years before the introduction of the Buddhist era, was the birth of Prince Siddhartha. On the 6th waxing moon, 35 years later, the prince attained enlightenment and became the Buddha. And on the full moon day of the 6th lunar month, 1 year prior to the Buddhist era, the Buddha attained complete Nibbana. Since 1999, Visakha Busha has been designated as the world's important day by the United Nations. With infinite compassion for all sentient beings, the Buddha disseminated his teachings, which became the foundation of Buddhism, to the world and opened the opportunity for anyone to freely come examine his teachings and learn about the truth of the world and the way to live wholesome lives, regardless of one's nationality, ethnicity, and religion, and without the need to change one's religious faith. The auspicious occasion of Visakha Busha, organized at Wat Phra Dhammakaya, commences with a morning meditation session to reflect on the Buddha's supreme benevolence, wisdom, and purity. In the late morning, there is an offering of Sanghadana to the monastic community. The afternoon is traditionally reserved for the higher ordination ceremony of novice monks of advanced Pali studies who have trained themselves to become monks endowed with theoretical and practical Dhamma knowledge. This sacred ceremony is held annually at the main chapel of Wat Phra Dhammakaya. The evening concludes elegantly with the ceremony to light beautiful Visakha lanterns and to circumambulate the great Dhammakaya Sittiya as a commemoration of the 3 significant events in the life of the Buddha. Katina Ceremony. Katina robe offering is a wonderful Buddhist tradition that has been preserved for thousands of years since the Buddha's time. It is a custom established by the Buddha, permitting the lay community to make a respectful offering of robes to monks who have spent 3 months during Buddhist Lent, purifying their mind and body. The objective as envisioned by the Buddha was to foster harmony in the monastic community and to allow virtuous monks with worn-out robes to receive new sets. The fruit from this good deed is tremendous, as expounded in one of Lord Buddha's teachings, that Sanghadana, the offering of dana, yields positive consequences for the donor. The Vinaya, or the monastic code of discipline, specifies that Buddhist temples can organize a Katina ceremony only once a year. Additionally, Katina is also restricted to a period of 1 month after the final day of Buddhist Lent, from the first day of the 11th waning moon to the 15th day of the 12th waxing moon. Temples can select a day within this time interval to organize their respective Katina ceremony. Every year on the first Sunday of November, the splendid Katina robe offering ceremony is organized at the Dhammakaya temple, where over thousands of venerable monks and novice monks who have earnestly observed the Buddhist Lent for the past 3 months will act as fertile fields of merit for a multitude of loyal supporters from Thailand and abroad in attendance. Therefore, we cordially invite everyone to come join us in the Katina robe offering.
กับทั้งผ้าอานิสงส์บริวารทั้งปวงนี้เป็นผ้ากฐินสามัคคี
ผ้ากฐินทานกับทั้งผ้าอานิสงส์บริวารทั้งปวงนี้ข้าพเจ้าพิจารณาแล้วเห็นสมควรมอบให้แก่ถ้าเห็นสมควรแล้วจงให้สัทธสัญญาสาธุการขึ้นพร้อมกันเถิด
International Dhammakaya Ordination Program. Buddhism is a practical religion based on cause and effect, with clear and precise teachings and way of practice. The International Dhammakaya Ordination Program, or IDOPT, thus encourages men, regardless of nationality, religion, belief, or ethnicity, to come examine it for themselves. IDOPT was initiated in 2003 by Phra Yan Mahamuni, Longpo Tamachiyo, Abbot of Wat Phra Dhammakaya in Pathum Thani, and has organized ordination programs annually during the month of July ever since. Find Your Answers is the program's slogan, and gentlemen from numerous countries travel to Thailand to discover the answers for themselves. These answers are found in experiences that range from practicing meditation and Buddhist cultural activities to learning basic tenets of Theravada Buddhism and embarking on the life of a Buddhist monk, a lifestyle that can be challenging for any man. During the first part of the training, all male trainees prepare themselves by observing the 8 precepts before participating in the hair clipping ceremony the following week. Before the higher ordination ceremony, all ordinants must first ordain as novice monks. Ordination means the abandoning of all bad deeds in preparation of a celibate life with purity of body, speech, and mind. The day of the higher ordination, taking place in the main chapel, ushers the ordinants into the monastic life, a solitary life filled with only simplicities. Ordination also goes hand in hand with the practice of meditation. The meditation experiences from these international monks will announce to the world that true happiness exists within us and can be verified by anyone. They also realized the time and sacrifices made to take part in this program was well worth it, for they were able to discover life's answers that they have been searching for. Dhammakaya to Tunga. The Dhammakaya to Tunga is one of the World Morality Revival projects initiated by Phra Yan Mahamuni, Longpo Tamachiyo, Abbot of Wat Phra Dhammakaya, and President of the Dhammakaya Foundation. The inaugural pilgrimage was held in early 2011 and saw more than 1,000 monks journey on foot along the path in the pursuit of perfections of the great Master Phra Mongkon Muni, Sotjan Tatsaro, the rediscoverer of Vichā Dhammakaya. The Tudunga covered 7 provinces that included Pathum Thani, Nonthaburi, Suphanburi, Nakhon Pathom, Samut Sakhon, Phra Nakhon Si Ayutthaya, and Bangkok Metropolitan. Tudunga is a monastic austerity practice to help remove defilements, one of which is attachment to things. Embarking on this pilgrimage, it is essential to travel light with the least amount of things. Therefore, Tudunga monks will only have with them a tent held on a long-handled umbrella, a shoulder satchel, an alms bowl, and one set of monk's robe. Each day, they will have just one meal and will not take extra food after the first serving or accept additional food offered by the laity. Each evening, they will reside at the location arranged by the staff and sleep in tents that they've been carrying. At each day's destination, the Tadanka monks will assemble to perform chanting and practice meditation together. Throughout the day as they're walking, the monks will observe the practice of silence and mindfulness and always carry a tranquil countenance and deportment of virtuous individuals who have trained themselves well. They will not be distracted by the heat or the hot surface underneath their feet, but will continue to walk gracefully and peacefully along to greet faithful supporters who have gathered to sprinkle marigold petals on the path and to enthusiastically welcome the Tadanka monks walking past their homes and offices. These noble monks on the pilgrimage will bring joy to everyone participating and blessing to the land, like a cool rain bringing happiness and delight to everyone. The mass ordination program of 100,000 monks from every village throughout Thailand. The mass ordination program of 100,000 monks from every village throughout Thailand is one of many programs from the World Morality Revival Project, initiated by Most Venerable Phra Yan Mahamuni, Long Po Dhammakaya, the abbot of Wat Phra Dhammakaya. The life of a male can take him through numerous events and experiences, but none will be as significant as the once-in-a-lifetime experience of ordaining as a Buddhist monk for 3 months during Buddhist Lent. During this time, he will experience a life of purity, tranquility, and freedom. Practice the Lord Buddha's teachings, the foundation for a religion based on cause and effect, in order to gain a better understanding of the realities of life, birth, aging, sickness, and death. Earnest practitioners will gain invaluable meditation results and truly experience clarity, immaculacy, serenity, and happiness that they have never experienced elsewhere. But before they can become Buddhist monks, they must first ordain as novice monks. Therefore, all the ordinants or men enrolled in the mass ordination program of 100,000 monks from every village throughout Thailand will travel to Wat Phra Dhammakaya in Pathum Thani in order to take part in the novice monk ordination ceremony together. The ceremony takes place early the next morning at the Grand Meditation Square of the Dhammakaya Sitya. The ceremony commences when ordinants circumambulate and pay obeisance to the Dhammakaya Sitya and request permission to ordain from a community of preceptors. This is followed by the ceremony to drape the base garment and concludes with the ceremony to request the precepts. An ordination ceremony is a grand and noble, yet simple event that combines grace and refinement derived from the esprit de corps of the ordinance. it is a magnificent event apposite for every male, and one that they can cherish and be proud of for the rest of their lives.
อุบาสิกาแก้ว Female Buddhist lay devotee. An Ubasika is a faithful benefactor who holds the Triple Gem as the highest refuge and is committed to supporting and preserving Buddhism. Ubasikas, along with venerable monks, novice monks, and Ubasakas, male lay devotees, are the constituents that comprise the four Buddhist communities. The term Ubasika Gao refers to female lay devotees who embrace the 8 precepts, a crystal sheath that enhances one's body, speech, and mind, and live a moral life in accordance to the middle way or the Eightfold Path. The Ubasika Gao training program is one of the World Morality Revival projects initiated by พระเทพยานมหามุนี หลวงพ่อธรรมชโย Abbot of วัดพระธรรมกาย The program's principal objectives are for the Ubasikas to cultivate themselves through the observation of 8 precepts and practice of abstinence and meditation. To learn about some of the training rules established by the Buddha, Buddhist culture, and the universal virtues taught in the 5-room concept. These 5 rooms include the bedroom, bathroom, dressing room, kitchen, and office. All the knowledge acquired is directly applicable to their daily lives. Training activities focus on teaching participants about the exemplary qualities of a pursuer of perfections to educe discipline, respect, and perseverance. They also emphasize teamwork, unity, and being a virtuous friend to one another in order to expand the community of wholesome and virtuous people who will help instill peace and happiness in the family, society, country, and the rest of the world. The time has come for women to prominently demonstrate their strength and ability in making this world a better place that everyone is waiting for. A peaceful world that is filled with only happiness and brimming with virtues and compassion for humanity.
V-Star Unity Day, Assembly of Virtuous Youth. It is the year 1997, and the V-Star Project had just organized its first Unity Day, Assembly of Virtuous Youth. Since then, it has become an event that attracts more than 100,000 school children annually from every province and corner throughout Thailand, who had to satisfy moral standard requirements before they can converge at their destination, Wat Phra Dhammakaya. On this day, fun activities are presented to encourage interaction and stimulate exchange of ideas among domestic and international V-Star students. The students also take part in an ethic quiz to help assess moral standard level of today's youth, explore the world's largest exhibition on the Buddha's life story, and experience the stunning 3D movie on heaven and hell. In addition, outstanding students will be awarded scholarships sponsored by kind-hearted adults who recognize the importance of cultivating academically bright students and wholesome citizens for our society. The V-Star Project has drawn interest from many organizations and sectors and garners strong support from administrators and teachers from numerous institutions, private organizations, and volunteers from moral education programs. Each year, more and more schools have joined the V-Star Project and participated in activities geared toward developing our youth to be well-rounded individuals. V-Star Unity Day is an exciting event that strives to creatively motivate students to be virtuous. The awe-inspiring scene of hundreds of thousands of V-Star students coming together to perform good deeds will be the catalyst for youth all over the world who will witness the sight to become virtuous themselves and to unite to make world peace a reality.